solution, if it's not getting better, is surgical excision. So we can cut them open, dig them out, but there's going to be consequences to doing that. So ideally we want to fix it, which is why this little pad here, if we can help defray the load that those would take by putting that load into the padding, then that can help relieve the pressure and hopefully get the person better. So you're going to have a differential diagnosis here when somebody walks in and they're like, I have pain in here, and it hurts when you push. Well, so you need to identify, is it a bone bruise, which is very possible, especially if they have a jumping history, especially barefoot, like swimmers tend to do dry land work. If that is damaged or irritated the sesamoids, or if you've got inflammation in the tendon itself. So getting good at palpation to where you can kind of figure out, to know what you're pushing on when they say ow, is kind of that differential trick in there. And those are the functional assessments as well. Hallux valgus, bunions. You can do things to tape and try to pull that toe out, but usually realigning isn't the most comfortable and people don't like it very much. There are toe spacers you can get that help kind of lodge in between toes relatively comfortably, that help try to, again, straighten it up. If it gets too bad, much like this, they'll end up breaking, realigning, and setting the bone. Many running shoes these days have a more confined front toe box. And so if you can actually find a set of shoes that have a wider front box, then that can remove the pressure that the side of the shoe would have, and many people's pain just goes away. Ultras is the newest one that's come out, but I see a lot of people have benefits from Newtons as well. Let's cut it out, elitist. So, if you can open up that toe box, it's going to take off some of the pressure into that joint, which means you don't have to deal with the joint so much. That in its own right, as well as switching to midfoot running, is going to decrease some of the stresses that would load off of those. Hallux rigidus. This is referencing the first MTP joint, so the same joint. It starts getting, it should look clean like this, and it turns into like that. We've got stages, 1, 2, 3, and 4. One is you've got some stiffness and some soreness. We usually try to treat that symptomatically. It gets to 4, and we end up fusing the joint. Stage 2, we can go in and try to like basically smooth out and clean up the joint surface. You get to level 3, and they may like resect a chunk of bone and put in new cartilage so that you can have a functioning joint. But 4, we give up and we just fuse it. So you think about what happens if you fuse that joint. That's, you bend there by about 30 degrees to then push off to walk. If it's rigid, it's going to impact because you can't bend the toe, so it's going to give you delayed gait, which is going to be awkward. So stage 4 becomes somewhat very problematic. But you can imagine how this, as it progresses, impacts every step. Good? Oh, you guys are out? Okay, how was practice cutting in my class? Coach and I are going to fight. So, I'll see y'all at 2:30, yes?
Yeah.
Okay. Turf toe is the last one I missed. Somebody goes in and they plant their foot into the ground as they're kicking forward, and it pretty much overstretches. It sprains the joint. It can overstretch the tendons. It's exceptionally painful. There's tape jobs that you can use to somewhat immobilize or restrict that motion to help them while they recover. So, that being done, oh, that's class, isn't it? 9 to 10, 15?
Yep. You wouldn't forget about the ACL group, would you?
Let's push ours back.
Get out! All right, y'all have a good day. We'll see you next